morning.
Good morning viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates morning show. I am your host Renessa Ortiz, and we want to say thank you to all of you viewing us on YouTube, Facebook, AMPLIA, Digicel, Flow. Thank you for making Tobago Updates your #1 station. I'm joined in studio this morning by none other than Alex Brown. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning to you too, Renessa. Good morning, viewers. How are you?
I am good. How are you? How did you spend your weekend?
Oh, it was a quiet weekend. It was a little bit tough, but it was a quiet weekend.
Awesome. I actually got to go to the May MTB bike competition yesterday.
Oh, tell me you rode a bike, Renessa.
No, I did not. However, I got the opportunity to look at all the young people that were there present and competed in the competition, to see such young talent and bravery, seeing the hill that they had to ride down those trails. It was just truly commendable, the bravery and courage that it takes to even take up a task such as that. Also seeing the multitude of people there, the turnout was amazing. The amount of footage that was taken, I know not just from us here at Tobago Updates, but also the other individuals and the independent contractors who were also there to make the event what it was. And I just really want to say shout out to the organizers of the event for a well put on 3-day event.
I am happy to hear that it was successful. I am looking forward for reports from the other things that we had on the weekend. We had that golf and jazz thing, so we want to hear how that went. So certainly look forward to hearing that. It was a quiet weekend for me. It wasn't too much active this weekend.
Now viewers, before we head any further into the programming this morning, we head on over to news in 90 seconds. A Marriott branded resort gets the green light for Rocky Point. The new A&R Robinson Airport terminal enters its final phase, and Charlottesville prepares for a 70th anniversary bonfire and get ready for a scorcher. The Environmental Management Authority has officially granted a certificate of environmental clearance for a Marriott branded hotel and resort at Rocky Point. The 12-hectare project by Superior Hotels will feature a 200-room hotel, villas and townhouses. While the EMA confirms the strict safeguards are in place to protect coral reefs and sea turtle nesting sites, the developer welcomed the approval as a significant win for investor confidence on the island. Following a tour on Sunday by Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jolene John, officials confirmed the new A&R Robinson International Airport terminal is nearing final commissioning. The facility is expected to be handed over to the Airport Authority shortly, marking the final stretch of the long-awaited infrastructure project. The Charlottesville Branch Library is celebrating 70 years of service. To mark the milestone, a vibrant bonfire celebration is scheduled for next Monday, May 11th at the Charlottesville beachfront. Residents are invited for an evening of music, dance, and culture starting at 5 p.m. to celebrate 7 decades of the library's legacy in the village. And finally, the Meteorological Service is warning of above normal temperatures from now through July. There's a 62% chance of hot spells in Tobago, with maximum temperatures expected to climb above 33 degrees Celsius. Citizens are encouraged to stay hydrated and take precautions during peak sun hours. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Stay tuned at 6:30 p.m. for our major newscasts. Alex, Charlottesville is celebrating, their library is celebrating 70 years of service, and as a resident born, bred and raised, are you going?
I must go. In fact, I have to be there before the bonfire. I have to see if my library card is still active. I remember being a member of the library when it was in the downstairs of a building donated by the late Emily Nicholson. She volunteered her property so that there could be a library. And I must pay tribute to the late Arthur Moore. He was the first librarian that I could recall, and he facilitated often my borrowing books beyond what should have been my years. And you say, you come from a good family, I know all you. I must I must be part of this. That whole library and its existence holds a lot of sentiment for me. It contributed a lot to my upbringing. It was one of the places I could go without having to ask for permission.
Oh.
There were only 3 places, so that was one of the 3. But that's something that really stood out for me, and I think I should be part of it.
And then you can report back to us on the 12th of all the things you did and experienced there at the bonfire.
Back past the bonfire.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. We're also seeing the Environmental Management Authority has officially granted a certificate of environmental clearance for a Marriott branded hotel at the resort at Rocky Point.
That's very interesting. And while I think we can all look forward to some development, and there are 2 things that concern me. Sometimes we are known to take shortcuts, and I'm hoping that this is not one of the times when we took shortcuts, so that a certificate of environmental clearance at this time does not show up later to have had a gap or 2 anyway, because this is also a marine sensitive area. And in terms of the entire tourism thrust, whether or not the idea that building more buildings will necessarily improve visitor arrival, I'm in my humble view, that is not necessarily the case, but we look forward to see what that is going to contribute, and we hope that it goes well.
And I know before the break we were talking about wastewater management, and we're hoping that as things progress, as this progresses in terms of development and infrastructure, that they take into consideration the wastewater management, that we don't further deplete or damage our natural resources here on the island of Tobago. That is something that we need to keep at the forefront of all things that we are doing, in hopes of increasing that tourism product and ensuring that visitors come here to the island. We still need to ensure to balance that infrastructure with environmental conservation.
That's a reality that we must not lose sight of. The balance that we need to maintain.
All right. Now, viewers, we're heading on to the celebratory segment of our morning. We're on to our birthday shout-outs. I've seen that we have quite the list this morning, Alex, and I'm going to allow you to start off the morning.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We begin with Susan Phillips. We say a very, very happy birthday to you. We trust that this look of peace that is on your face in this picture is reflective of what your new year is going to be. So we wish you today peace, love, and favor from God. Have a wonderful day and a peaceful new year. Happy birthday to you.
Up next, we have none other than Bernadette Fraser. Happy birthday to you from us here at Tobago Updates. We hope that you have a bright and prosperous day ahead, and that the year going forward is one filled with achievements and accomplishments, and also the opportunity to just reflect on your life and to just ensure that God is at the center of it all, and that He continues to grant you all of His richest blessings going forward.
Next on the list is Udani Bruce. Happy birthday to you, Udani. We trust that you are going to have a day that is really an enjoyable one that you spend with those you love, spending time doing the things you love, and that the year that starts today is going to be one that brings you the desires of your heart. Happy birthday and God's blessings.
Up next, we have Chanel Phillips. Happy birthday to you. We hope that you spend today with lots of joy, with lots of peace, and that you're cherished and appreciated by those who love and appreciate you. We're hoping that you take the time out to at least celebrate and spend some time with yourself, spend some time with loved ones, and really embrace and reflect and thank God for the year you've had and the year that you would have upcoming.
Next is Kevin George. In this picture, there's a look of focus and purpose that says bring it on, and we're trusting that this is what your new year is going to be. You're going to face it and say bring it on. We hope that you have a really enjoyable day, and that the year that comes you will be equal to whatever faces you. Have a happy birthday, Kevin.
Next up, we have Kelly Thomas. Happy birthday to you. We're wishing you a bright and prosperous year ahead around this new sun, this new journey around the earth. I hope that this year brings you closer to all your goals and accomplishments, and that you take the time to really reflect and ask God to show you the way, that He keeps you on the right path, and all His richest blessings continue to flow evermore upon your life.
Now I see why you wanted me to start that, so that I have the final one, and this one in particular. A very, very happy belated birthday to our Chief of Operations here at Tobago Updates, Mr. Maryland David. We trust that you had a good birthday, and that the new year is going to be one that is rewarding and full of favor. Happy belated birthday to you.
Yes, happy belated birthday to you, Marilyn. And that has brought us to the
Unless you
end.
set me up.
No, I did not set you up. And that has brought us to the end of our birthday shout-outs this morning. To those of you who did not make it on our birthday lineup, we want to say happy birthday to you, and that you ensure that you send all your celebratory content to us here at Tobago Update so that we can celebrate with you. Now, Alex, what's on the rundown this morning?
An interesting rundown we have this morning. Usually, year in review comes somewhere around December, probably December 28th, 29th, 30, thereabout. But we're starting this morning with the year in review. We'll be talking with one of our parliamentary representatives, and we'll discuss the year in review. Following that discussion, we talk with Acting Inspector Andy Mohammed of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and that is going to be our usual weekly roundup and guidance tips from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Two
So
pretty intense.
Indeed, indeed. Now, viewers, there you have it. I want you to stay tuned, and when we return, we'll head into these conversations. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Yeah. Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-9999.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
Baby, when you whine on me,
Somebody get the phone, go on the telephone.
I get
dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam. You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339,
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624 333.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. Before we continue on further into the program this morning, we have an ad here for you. This Mother's Day, celebrate the Queen of Your Heart at La Fontaine Restaurant, Beverly's Oasis Suites, Lowlands, Tobago. Join us at Toast to Mom Sunday, May 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for an unforgettable Mother's Day brunch buffet overlooking the gardens. Indulge in our chef's signature spread, fresh local fruits, made-to-order omelets, Creole favorites, carving stations, decadent desserts, plus complimentary mimosas for moms. Only TT 225 per person. Kids 5 to 12, half price, under 5 eat free. Live steel pan giveaways and gifts for every mom. Reservations are essential. Call to book your table at 364-5834 or 639-7928 because mom deserves the best. And there you have it. If you're still wondering what to get mom for Mother's Day, you're trying to figure out what it is you need to do, here is an option for you at Beverly Oasis Suites. Viewers, as promised before the break, in studio with us, we have Member of Parliament for Tobago East, David Thomas, and we're talking about 1 year in review. Good morning and welcome to you, sir.
Pleasant morning to you, pleasant morning to your co-host, pleasant morning to all the peoples of Tobago.
Now, Mr. Thomas, you entered office just about a year ago with strong support from Tobago East. Looking back, how would you describe your first year in Parliament?
It was a beautiful year. It has created in my mind great expectation. I am not by any means a character in the Charles Dickens novel, but I feel that I'm in a place of great expectation.
Great expectations. Tell us, Mr. Thomas, how are these expectations yours? Are the expectations of your constituents? And how have you been able to meet any of those expectations?
Well, the thing is, based on a series of things, based on the relationships that were established and continue to unfold, based on what I know of my constituency, based on the natural characteristics of David Joseph Thomas, and based on the needs of Tobago, I sit in a place of great expectations, because when you combine all those things, you are sure that Tobago is entering a great space. And as the universe continues to unfold, I think Tobago sits in a beautiful space, and we can just expect great things to be happening as we go forward.
Now, as you're talking about Tobago and its needs and your constituency, well, your district, yes, your constituency, what were your top priorities when you entered, and did those priorities shift once you got into office?
Well, my top priority for me is to immediately hit the road, ensuring that Tobago gets what Tobago needs. And I was handed a beautiful opportunity, or what you call an ideal opportunity, when the Prime Minister invited me to have a one-on-one meeting with her. And she said to me, I don't know what she saw, but prior to that, she allowed me to address the cabinet on 2 occasions. And then she said to me, she needs to be talking to me all the time. So when that opportunity came, it was an opportunity where I was asked, what should I give Tobago? And I immediately started by saying, every dollar that the THE asks for in its budget should be given to Tobago. Then I looked in the direction of us being able to generate our own revenue. So I went on to ask her for the quarry license. And then I went on to ask her to partner with our line secretaries, especially in the areas of agriculture and the areas of road infrastructure, so that we could build out, a quality product, and we could put Tobago in a space where the development and the success, right, is visible. And I can say all of those things were delivered to date.
All of those things visible, delivered. I wanted to, because I'm happy you mentioned it. I always have an issue with the levels of our food import, and you spoke to road access and agriculture. How has that been going? Because I am, let me say it this way. I am not any more involved in agriculture than I was in my childhood, primarily because road access is horrible. How has that improved since you're been elected as MP for Tobago East, and how has that been impacting on the levels of food imports that we do? Because food imports, most time we talk about food imports, we think of the things that come from beyond the Caribbean region, but we ignore the fact that we still buy provision from our Caribbean neighbors. So how has that impacted?
All right. So I was asked initially to identify 5 access roads that would ease the concerns of farmers and Tobagonians generally. And I can tell you that we are seeing it happening now in the Richmond area, and then we're going to move to the Cardiff area, then we're going to move to the Goldsboro area, all of which are known for, heavy agricultural involvement. Not only that, there is some water infrastructure being done at Goldsboro to make water not only available to residents, but to farmers. And that project is going full speed ahead. It's going to kick into its second phase, where it would involve employment for people of those areas. But you are visibly seeing roadworks being done, right? That there's the Lamy project. That entire road was done and completed. So all the farmers, there is some concerns of the slow rate at which water infrastructure is being done in those areas. But it's a work in progress, and I am seeing, and I am satisfied, as against not having anything, we are now having something. There is some works being done at the Louisdor land settlement area. You have a few items of development unfolding there. So in the not too distant future, it will be well established that we are having the agricultural minister as well, right, will be coming to partner with the Division of Agriculture. So you would see some additional infrastructural work being done, as well as additional access roads being treated with.
So we've had some progress being made in terms of agriculture and agricultural access. Tell us a little more of direct involvement, if there has been. No, I remember well the political leader of your party said that prior to elections, you are not going down there to look for cushy cabinet position and ministerial jobs, but you're going to represent the interests of Tobago.
Yes.
Outside of being a member of cabinet, given the general history of our parliament and the way we have governed, outside of being a member of the cabinet, how practical has it been, and how successful has representation been for you as an NP in our current circumstance?
All right. The Prime Minister, in her wisdom, I would suppose, from time to time call us in. The latest development, as far as that is concerned, we are now a part of the Cabinet Caucus, and we are a part of some of the Joint Select Committees, and we also are allowed on demand, if we require urgent interventions, we are given that opportunity to so do. And in terms of the relationship, we are not dictated to, but we are allowed to make our presentations. We are allowed to justify our positions. And as far as I have seen, we have been allowed that opportunity to see the tangibles, the returns, as we make these representation.
Now, on the cusp of talking about representation isn't just in Parliament, but it also means being on the ground here in Tobago and listening to the residents of Tobago East. What has been some of the issues that you are currently working on, apart from the access roads that Alex would have asked about, and also talking about agriculture and in terms of food imports? What are some of the issues that are currently in this space that you would like to work on going forward?
All right. Well, I know recent history would indicate that our security needs are being responded to. If you go to Roxburgh Fire Station, you see a brand new fire appliance, right? And it came at a timely stage of our adverse weather conditions, right? And you would also see that there is everything being done to improve on some of our infrastructure. In terms of schools, we are moving feverishly to have some solar infrastructure put into the schools, because we are very mindful that when T&Tech cannot afford to sustain us throughout the day, schools are closed, and it affects the entire Tobago population, because once children are not at school, there is need for additional supervision and all that. So we have that in the mix. We have gone into the schools and we have assisted them from a technological and digital point of view. One of the first projects I took on is to ensure that I went to most of the schools in Tobago East. I have 26 of them, and they were given computers and so on to boost up what they already had and or to replace what they had non-functional. Right? We have looked at the fact that a lot of schools do not have air conditions, so we invested in fans. We invested in other items that we feel would boost the comfort and the delivery of education to our students in Tobago East. In the not too distant future, we're going to enter the areas of sport. You would well know that the Louisdor area, we had all the lights up. There is some work being done at Charlottesville now. And very soon, the hard court at Roxborough would be lit. And you would see a lot of events, family-oriented events taking place to bring back that close-knit Tobago and to bring back that parental or that family security and protection, so that we would return to the days, because I always advocate that in the era of the extended family, crime was almost not a concern. But we went into the single parenting, we went into the nuclear setup, and then parents working, you know. So the opportunity to supervise children at optimum, you know, fell apart. So from the perspective of building back our families and our communities and our supervision, and return to that quality time when we had better behaviors and better attitudes towards showing proper responsibility and so on. All those things we are looking at in order to build out that product that Tobago is known for and to present us with the quality that we're looking forward to.
I must tell you this, you dodged a bullet. Because I was waiting to hear if this interview would end and you said nothing about anything for a fire station.
But
you dodged a bullet. Roxborough, of course, being home, not just in your constituency, but being home. I think that you'd have done yourself quite some service by making sure that Roxborough was the place that got the new fire appliance. But I'm asking a question with a bit of pain.
Yeah.
Have you visited Roxborough Secondary School lately?
I have not. I must admit, my last visit to Roxborough Secondary was at the commencement of the September school term. I have not been able to go back since, right? And I do feel it deep in my heart, because in terms of my passion, the Roxborough Trade School, I was the manager there prior to me being elected, and the Roxborough Secondary School, I know that there are some situations there that we need to deal with. I know that it has fallen away from the quality institution that it was when it produced the likes of Dr. Boris and, you know, a host of other persons. And I do not ever lose hope. What I do when situations come up, I go into solution mode. And there is some discussion taking place to twin the institution with other institutions so that you could sort of structure a product that would reach the needs of the people. I, in my own opinion, would think that there was some disservice done. However, I am seeing that the agricultural unit of the Roxborough Secondary School is now under repair and it's returning to normalcy, and we expect that as that unfolds, you know, we would, because that school area was the center of activity. We used to refer to it as Wembley, because in the Windward football competitions, the ultimate was to get to Roxborough Secondary ground to play the final.
I remember those days.
Just as we refer to the Wembley of England, that was the Wembley of Tobago East.
and as we're heading to a break, but I just want to put my own plug in for personal reasons that most of our viewers may not understand. But I visited that. I just passed by last week, and what met me, the facade really can use some improvement. I think if this is what the students face every day, we can have some challenges. So as the agricultural side of things are being addressed, I'm hopeful that you can find some way to influence some improvement to the plan. Viewers, we're talking with Mr. David Thomas, Parliamentary Representative for Tobago East. We take a break. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Remember during the break to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cooler experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than fear understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Deltec compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Barcode, Scarborough, Eco Spot, Stubby Park, Neat Jones Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Ground Point, or online at eitheretickets.com. Sun Up Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling Saturday, 4th of July, Deltec compound Argyle.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
DMK Promotion presents The Glamour and Gold Affair. The ultimate Mother's Day R&B and reggae experience with unmatched elegance. Happening Saturday 9th of May at Vibes Event Space Tobago. Doors open at 8 p.m. Featuring top DJs and live performances by Ziggy Ranking, Royal Dainty, Prince Unique, and Black Culture Sound. Admission is $200 for couples and $150 for singles. With a premiere special, 4 persons on 1 ticket. Premier bottles, chaser, and cocktail tables. Enjoy a complimentary glass of wine and rose upon entry. Plus door prizes, best dressed categories, dress code, semi-elegant, black and gold. The Glamour and Gold Affair. Don't miss it.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans. Let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Donc la famille taking long to play the card. Come on, I'm all in time showing good, but Yeah, look at it. Yo, what school you went by?
Diane Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah,
Sure,
we know
man?
the baddest has come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling away.
We know the baddest. But you went night and night, and I is the baddest.
My Bishop is the
Don't
best,
let
boy.
nobody hear you saying that. Yo, what's going on with Tola? Here, what's going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV, where I, your host, Multibass, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition, where DJs will go head-to-head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win, and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come let me do some juggling.
So guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years, and for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. We're going straight into ad and we'll continue with our conversation this morning. This Mother's Day, celebrate the Queen of Your Heart at La Fontaine Restaurant, Beverly's Oasis Suites, Lowlands, Tobago. Join us at Toast to Mom on Sunday, May 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for an unforgettable Mother's Day brunch buffet overlooking the gardens. Indulge in our chef's signature spread, fresh local fruits, made-to-order omelets, Creole favorites, carving stations, decadent desserts, plus complimentary mimosas for moms. Only TT 225 per person, kids 5 to 12 half price, and under 5 eat free. Live steel pan giveaways and a gift for every mom. Reservations are essential. Call to book your table at 364-5834 or 639-7928. La Fontaine at Beverly's Oasis, because mom deserves the best. A gesture of appreciation for mothers on Mother's Day, Sunday, 10th May 2026. As an entrepreneur, owner, and founder of CP's Bird Sanctuary is hosting this event for mothers at the Bird Sanctuary. Name of the event is Mothers with the Hummers, and the entrance fee is free. Number of mothers are 50, and the start time starts at 4:30 p.m. and it ends at 6:30 p.m. Free drinks and refreshments, and the activities range from trivia, scavenger hunt around the compound, and photo moments. Special prizes for the oldest mother, mother with the most children, and you are encouraged to wear bright colors, red, yellow, orange, all along that spectrum. Contact for reservation at 496-3286. Calling that number again, 496-3286. We're continuing the conversation this morning with MP for Tobago East, David Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, before the break, we were talking about some of the projects that were being undertaken, and we left at the point where we said that we need to revisit Roxborough Secondary.
Yes.
Before we go further, I want to poke a little bit of fun at you here.
Yes.
That last ad for the Bird Sanctuary, the event takes place in your constituency.
Bird Sanctuary.
CP's Bird Sanctuary.
But
right.
I would, yes, up the hill, yes.
Right. And
yes, I think it's
and that holds some personal connections for you as well.
Of course.
Good morning to the good people of CP's Bird Sanctuary. We're going to leave it there for now.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas, we want to go. You spoke earlier of the fact that while you are not officially a member of the cabinet and while you're not a minister, you are from time to time afforded the opportunity to address the cabinet. You are from time to time consulted on by the Prime Minister or by many other ministers on matters that would affect us. There are some matters that have affected us negatively, and we want to get your perspective. First was the song and dance, I would call it, of removing the demerit points from driver's license after fixed penalty applications. And then the inordinate increase, in some cases 100% increase in the fines for road traffic violations. Were you consulted? What is your view?
Well, if I'm to be honest with the population and your good self, prior to entering government, I, from a personal perspective, did have a problem with the demerit points. I found that it was a situation where you were being punished several times for one offense. And I thought it was not fair. Because if you're going to have a fixed penalty ticket that you have to pay, then you're going to have demerit points, right? Then you would have a situation where you have to, where you can be disqualified, which I see as another punishment. And then you have to pay and enter an institution for some level of rehabilitation before you can resume your normal life. I found that to be too much. Right? I lean on the fact that opinions are singular, so I do not wish to throw anybody else's opinion out the door. But I felt that there was too much for the individual. The guy who uses his car to mind his family, when he gets disqualified, his family is in shambles, right? And I am saying punish people or put systems in place to guide behaviors. But when it becomes too much, I speak openly. And I wish to just reiterate that that is my personal perspective. So it was not difficult for me to support it because I looked at it, I looked at the data. Having been a fire officer, I responded to several crashes, several incidents. And when you look, just as in the situation of crime, we have 1.4 million persons in this beautiful Twin Island state. But you will find that 98% of those persons are law-abiding citizens. And I see it, errant drivers are in the minority, right? I know that the devastation could be, really, really heartrending, but I do not believe, just as you go to court, when you go to the court, there are fixed fines and so on. But the discretion of the magistrate may not allow you to be exposed to the full brunt of the penalty. And I felt that in the demerit points there was no discretion. And then it had the potential to disrupt so many other aspects of your life. How do you not be able to drive your motor vehicle, yet you have a fine, you still have your family to mind? And all that. How does it work? How do we deal with that kind of matrix? So I felt that it should have been reviewed. I am not saying that it should have been fully taken off the books, but I felt it was too much. And at each step, because if all those things happen and you still were not able to pay, you cannot renew your driver's permit. There are several other transactions that you cannot conduct because you are in the system showing that you, right? I just found it was too much.
Okay, and one may agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you not also think that the doubling of the fines in probably the majority of cases was also too much?
Right. I looked at the fines and I said in the initial stages, if you do not commit any of the felonies, then you would never have to pay a fine.
But let's be fair, Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
There are some things that you can pay fines for that were outside of your control.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding the roadworks that you spoke of.
Yes.
You drop down in a pothole in Tobago and you can do some damage to your electricals and you lose a bubble or something, and you run into a roadblock somewhere, and then the fine for that is doubled. I mean...
All right, and I agree with you, and I voiced my opinion on that.
Was your opinion a dissenting one? I guess that's what your constituents would want to know. Was it a dissenting opinion?
Yes. I thought that because I too drive, and I leave home sometime and my car is up, and by the time I get on the road, my brakes light not working, my horn stopped blowing, right? A stone came off a truck, crack your windscreen. I know those things. I mean, I was a driving instructor, so I mean, I was emotionally attached to all those things. So I too, and then I made representation that we should revisit and allow some level of concession or some level of leverage. And it came to some degree when you have, if you have a blown light, you have a few days to repair that and so on. But there are some aspects of the thing that just unforgivable. We have people in this country using the technology to change expiry dates on both driver's permit and insurance policies.
And I'm not saying that we should let those slide by. Right? So probably there needs to be a more distilled approach.
Right.
Because usually what we try to do is a catch-all. And it doesn't always work out well.
I agree.
I am concerned, and I'm kind of sticking there for a little bit. I'm concerned, for example, with issues like it just slipped me. But the thing is that there are some issues over which you have no control. And when those issues come up, it has come back to me. We have a new vehicle industry in this country, which is nebulous at best.
Right.
Because we do not manufacture.
Right.
But we have a host of that may be putting it a bit, making a bit of a stretch. But we have a number of new car companies that do not stock parts. So you have a new car, something has gone wrong, and the dealer tells you we don't have the parts, we can get it for you in 4 months. What am I to do?
All right. Well, I don't know if you listened to the debate in the last session of Parliament, and that is being addressed, right? Because it is a factor, and it can hurt persons. So we are ensuring now that based on the standards that are required, that when a ticket is issued, there is a department of the licensing division and the transport division now that goes into motion, that is triggered to ensure that the parts are available, and the customer is informed that the part is available and where you can get it.
Can the person continue to drive? Because now this would appear on the surface as a recurring offense.
Right. No, it wouldn't. Once the situation comes up, if it is verified at all that the part is not available, you are not liable, because it just means that you cannot, right? And there are so many systems. I listened carefully to the transport minister presenting in the House, and the government reviewed its policy, and they are now embarking on systems that can make it more accommodating for road users, even from the perspective where you have fines to pay.
Now, Mr. Thomas, as we wrap the interview this morning, you mentioned to us that you have some plans for some upcoming events that you would be having in your constituency. Can you share that with us and the viewers?
Yes, in celebration of my first year in office, I am not showing a bias here, but I am creating an opportunity for all the senior citizens throughout Tobago, 60 and over, to join me at the Sidgray Complex on Wednesday the 6th. I'll be having a health fair there for senior citizens. We would have trivia, we'd have giveaways. But the thing is, it's to look after the health of our senior citizens. So it would be an event where there will be full participation. We have the experts coming in, and we'll be spending the entire day at the Sidgray We'd have accommodation and everything, you know, we'll have refreshments, just name it. And my beautiful, hardworking staff of Tobago, of the Tobago East constituency, would be on hand to greet you and ensure that you are well taken care of. So if you're thinking about the vision, we're dealing with that. If you're talking about the HIV, we're dealing with that. If you're thinking about the blood pressure, the blood sugar, the cholesterol, just name it. We'd have a professional team on hand to treat to the entire senior citizenry of Tobago to ensure that you're healthy and to demonstrate in a real way that we do care about you and we want you to live long and be strong.
I applaud that for several reasons. I'll give you one of them. In recent times, I was working in the church with a pastor, and we started to go through the number of members of the congregation who were retired. He's originally from Trinidad, and he was like, Tobago had the youngest looking retirees I've ever seen in my life. You know? So you young retirees, please go out.
Yes.
And be part of this. You're getting some kind of free, at least initial health care. We know it doesn't come cheap, and we encourage you to go out and benefit from it. Mr. Thomas, we want to thank you for coming and talking with us. Must admit that you seem to be one of the less forward or less in the spotlight members of parliament, but we're thankful that you've shared with us, and so we can now know of some of what you've been doing over the last year, and we certainly trust that you'll find success as the rest of your term rolls on.
And I wish to guarantee that once you call me, I will come. I want to share with Tobago. I want to see Tobago develop. We must not just be the greatest little island on the planet in terms of visitors coming here, but what emanates, what leaves Tobago must almost also represent great quality.
I want to thank you so much for coming on, just reiterating the same sentiments as Alex. I want to wish you all the best going forward in your number of years that you still have to serve us, and that you continue to put Tobago's best interests forward as well going forward. Viewers, that's it for Tobago Updates morning show this morning. We want to say thank you for staying tuned with us. Up next, we have GMT. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Today, we celebrate more than just a forest. We celebrate a vision, we celebrate leadership, and one of the earliest acts of environmental conservation in the world. In 1776, our beautiful island of Tobago stood at the center of what we now recognize as global environmental policy, when the Main Ridge was established to protect Tobago's watershed and natural resources. 250 years later, that bold and visionary decision still benefits our people.
It supports a rich and unique biodiversity, including species found nowhere else in the world. It continues to play a critical role in maintaining our water systems, protecting our soils, sustaining life across the island, and encouraging ecotourism, as it attracts tourists for birdwatching and hiking, thereby fostering sustainable livelihoods for surrounding communities such as Bloody Bay, and educating visitors on conservation.
In many ways, the ridge does what no hospital or health center can do alone. It prevents illness, it supports wellness, and it sustains life. It is our air filter, supporting respiratory health and overall well-being. It is our shield, helping us to withstand the growing impacts of climate change. And possibly most important, it is a place of peace. This week, as we celebrate this 250 years, we must also ask ourselves a very, very, very important question. What is our responsibility for the next 250 years?
This year was cultural traditions. So what we did, we had them do a piece entitled Culture Meets Conservation, Are We Owed? So we asked them to depict a piece of how the practice we would have used beforehand, culturally, what practice would have used to conserve the wetlands and how they could use cultural practice today.
Very happy actually, because wouldn't lie, this sketch was kind of last minute, but we managed to pull through. Very proud we managed to place third and excited to move forward with the full-scale mural.
We are feeling very inspired. As you know, we are upper six students. We are currently pursuing CAPE studies. So it was a task to set aside time to get this done, but we are really, really proud that we were able to place third and then therefore move on to the painting. We are awaiting our instructions as to where, but we believe that we'll be able to inspire other youth to move forward with environmental sustainability.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
To celebrate the 98th edition of the Boko Goat and Crabberries Festival. Proud because this festival has grown tremendously. For a community to sustain a product for over 100 years, because this year goat racing is 101 years old. We'd have lost a couple of years because of COVID. But for something that was birthed out of innovation and creativity, but also frustration at the time, to last for more than a century is something to be indeed proud about.
Caring for a race goat requires significant investments and dedication. They are treated as prized possessions with regular veterinary care, grooming, and specialized nutrition and to maintain their health. Training is another critical component which ensures their performance at their best on race day. We must also recognize the jockeys, whose physical fitness and discipline are equal and essential. Their health and conditioning plays a vital role in the success for each race. As goat owners, we eagerly anticipate this festival each year. I am pleased to say that this year's event was executed smoothly and truly enjoyed by all who attended.
Is to truly celebrate everyone who has participated in creating this cultural event. But while you are doing that, remember that there's another generation that 100 years from now should be able to say, we are 200 years into this because you took the time to pass it on to them.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Imagine being able to explore Tobago virtually before you even arrive. That idea is now becoming reality as the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited leads the island into a new era of digital tourism and discovery. Through a new partnership with World Travel in 360, Tobago is being brought to life on Google Street View, an interactive feature within Google Maps that allows users to explore destinations through immersive 360-degree imagery. Soon, people across the globe will be able to move through Tobago's stunning landscapes virtually, placing the island alongside more than 100 countries and territories already featured on the platform and making it easier than ever to discover what makes Tobago so special. Filming is already underway across the island, capturing miles of forest trails, coastlines, and marine environments in rich 360-degree detail. Among the major highlights is the mapping of the iconic Gilpin Trail, one of the most popular attractions within the Mainridge Forest Reserve, which is celebrating its 250th anniversary. Users will also be
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to GMT. Good morning, Tobago. Wherever you may be viewing from across Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, the diaspora, whether you're on cable, online, welcome. And I know many of you may have been looking forward to seeing Miss Chanel Felix sitting here. She usually does. I'll be holding on for her today, and you can look forward to seeing her tomorrow. And my name is Jewel Green George, and I will be sitting with you and chatting with the guests today. Today we have quite a lovely roundup, but before we get into that, let's get into the news in 90 seconds. And a Marriott branded resort gets the green light for Rockley Point. The new A&R Robinson Airport Terminal enters its final stage. Charlottesville Library prepares for its 70th anniversary bonfire, and get ready for a scorcher. Your news in 90 seconds starts now for Monday, May 4th, 2026. The Environmental Management Authority has officially granted a certificate of environmental clearance for a Marriott branded hotel and resort at Rocky Point. The 12-hectare project by Superior Hotels will feature a 200-room hotel, villas and townhouses. While the EMA confirms strict safeguards are in place to protect coral reefs and sea turtles nesting sites, the developers welcome the approval of a significant win for investor confidence on the island. Following a tour on Sunday by Minister of Works and Infrastructure Julian John, officials confirmed the new A&R Robinson International Airport Terminal is nearly finally coming to be commissioned. The facility is expected to be handed over to the Airport Authority shortly, marking the final stretch of the long-awaited infrastructure project. The Charlottesville Branch Library is celebrating 70 years of service. To mark the milestone, a vibrant bonfire celebration is scheduled for next Monday, May 11th, at the Charlottesville beachfront. Residents are invited for an evening of music, dance, and culture starting at 5 p.m. to celebrate 7 decades of the library's legacy in the village. And finally, the Met Service is warning of above normal temperatures from now through to July. There's a 62% chance of hot spells in Tobago, with maximum temperatures expected to climb above 33 degrees Celsius. Citizens are encouraged to stay hydrated and take precautions during peak sun hours. That was your news in 90 seconds. And today is the first Monday in May. Not the first day in May, but first Monday in May. And as we observe and go through the entire month of May, we have so many things happening in May. And we have Mother's Day coming up. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. We also have World Bee Day coming up on the 20th of May. And we recently celebrated and observed World Press Freedom Day. And our guests today are coming to talk about some of those activities that will be happening during the busy and very exhilarating month of May. We have an interview coming up. We're speaking with the former president of Trinidad and Tobago Orchid Society, Mr. Anthony Tankai. And he's going to be talking to us about the Mother's Day Orchid Festival happening in Couva on the 9th and the 10th. And follow that, we will be speaking to the Vice President of the Charlottesville Police Youth Club. And they are going to be talking to us about a mindfulness session, art therapy, which is going to be really focused on Mental Health Awareness Month. And finally, we'll be chatting with the President of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and we'll be discussing World Press Freedom Day, which happened on the 3rd of May. So look out for an exciting, exhilarating, and informative session. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here with us, right on GMT. And before we go any further, we have these ads to read to you, just to share what's happening across Trinidad and Tobago. And this Mother's Day, we celebrate the Queen of Your Heart at La Fontaine Restaurant, Beverly's Oasis Suites, Lowland, Tobago. Join us as we toast to Mom on Sunday, May 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for an unforgettable Mother's Day brunch buffet overlooking the gardens. Indulge in our chef's signature spread, fresh local fruits, made-to-order omelets, Creole favorites, carving stations, decadent desserts, plus complimentary mimosas for moms. Only $225 per person. Kids 5 to 12 years are half price, and if they're under 5, they eat for free. You have live entertainment, giveaways, and a gift for every mom when you come to La Fontaine Restaurant at Beverly's Oasis Suites in Lowlands, Tobago. And for reservations, which are important, please remember to call 364-5834 or 639-7928. And that is to book your Mother's Day brunch at La Fontaine Restaurant. And we have coming up a free event also for mothers as a gesture of appreciation for mothers. On Mother's Day, Sunday 10th May 2026, entrepreneur and owner and founder of CP's Bird Sanctuary is hosting this event for mothers at the Bird Sanctuary. And it is free. You don't have to pay anything at all. It starts at 4:30 p.m., ends at 6:30 p.m., free drinks and refreshments, and they are catering for 50 moms. So we would admonish you to get in here before it gets filled. And if you want to reserve your place at this event, please call for 963286 and wear bright colors, red, yellow, You know how we are in the Caribbean, we love to come out in our bright colors. So please feel free to express yourself in that way. And there's a special prize for the oldest mother and mothers with the most children. So thank you for being with us here again on GMT, and we're ready for our first guest. We have with us the former president of the Trinidad and Tobago Orchid Society, Mr. Anthony Tankai. Good morning, Mr. Tankai. Are you hearing us, Mr. Tankai? Good morning. We seem to be having some technical difficulties. Mr. Tankai, can you hear us? Okay, so we seem to be experiencing a bit of technical difficulties. I know the technical crew is going to take care of that. But let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Share the live, share the live, share the live, and come right back here in a couple minutes when we'll be talking to the former president of the Trinidad and Tobago Orchid Society.
DMK Promotion presents The Glamour and Gold Affair. The Glamour and Gold Affair. The ultimate Mother's Day R&B and reggae experience with unmatched elegance. Happening Saturday 9th of May at Vibes Event Space Tobago. Doors open at 8 p.m. Featuring top DJs and live performances by Ziggy Ranking, Royal Dainty, Prince Unique, and Black Culture Sound. Admission is $200 for couples and $150 for singles. With a premiere special, 4 persons on 1 ticket. Premier bottles, chaser, and cocktail tables. Enjoy a complimentary glass of wine and rose upon entry. Plus, door prizes, best dress categories, dress code, semi-elegant, black and gold. The Glamour and Gold Affair. Glamour and Gold Affair. Don't miss it.
Sun Up Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cooler experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than them feel understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Delta Compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Barcode, Scarborough, Eco Spot, Stubby Park, Nijon's Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Crown Point, or online at ironetickets.com. Sun Out Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling. Saturday, 4th of July, Delta Compound, Argyle.
Yeah. Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans. Let your goals grow. Whoa. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know,
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person.
Trinidad is my home, and I always say charity begins at home. So I'm just delighted to bring this team of dedicated volunteers. Part of our motto is that we just don't send relief. We hand deliver it with care and compassion. And as I would always tell my team, the best way to find oneself is to lose oneself in the service of others.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hi everyone, I'm Marissa Benin. Coming up, Jamaica, here we come. These women of vision are on a mission. Ride the waves and savor the flavor, otherwise known as spending quality time in Antigua and Barbuda. Fun times, plus the food that sets St. Kitts and Nevis apart, all available under one roof. Cue the entertainment and the food. It's Chinese Spring Festival time. It's all next on this station.
Donc la famille taking long to play the card. Oh boy, I'm all in time, so good, but yo, what school you went by?
Diane Bishops by.
Bishops?
Yeah,
sure,
we know the baddest that's come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling her, right?
We know the baddest. Why you went night and life and I is the baddest.
My Bishops is the best, right?
Yo, what's going on with Tola? Here, what's going on? It's only one way to settle this.
We'll be live on Youth Voice TV where I, your host Multibass, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition where DJs will go head to head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come, let me do some job.
So guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
And good morning, viewers across the Caribbean, across Trinidad and Tobago, in the diaspora. Welcome back to GMT. I am Jewel Green George, and I'm your host this morning. I know you're expecting to see Miss Chanel Felix. Don't worry, she'll be back tomorrow for GMT as per usual. But today we'll be talking with the former president of the Trinidad and Tobago Orchid Association. And his name is Mr. Anthony Tankai. He's here to talk to us about the Mother's Day Orchid Festival. Mr. Tankai?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah?
How are you?
I am doing very well.
It's very good to hear you. So tell us about this Mother's Day Platinum Jubilee Orchid Festival that's happening.
Okay. The Orchid Society, the Trinidad and Tobago Orchid Society, is celebrating its 70th anniversary this month. So we are having the Platinum Jubilee in celebration of mothers. So we're having it on the Mother's Day weekend. and it's going to be held at the Arima Recycling Velodrome in Hoover. It's a spacious, multi-purpose facility. Fantastic. All orchid lovers should come out to see the wonderful displays we are having.
So tell us exactly, what is the festival going to entail? If I were to walk in, pay my $25 in advance or my $30 at the door, and I walk in, what should I be expecting to see?
An array of beautiful orchid displays. Hundreds of plants of all descriptions. You're going to have Phalaenopsis, Dendrobiums, Cattleyas, Oncidiums, some very unusual species. Trinidad is home to very many native orchid species. You're going to see quite a few on display. And we also have our sister society from Barbados. They're coming in and they're going to be bringing a wealth of their cut blooms. And then you will see our sister societies like the Bonsai Society, the Trinidad and Tobago Field Naturalist Club, the Central Horticulture Club, the Eastern Horticulture Club. They're all joining us to celebrate this wonderful occasion. So you will see an array of all types of plants on display. You're going to see bromeliads, you're going to see cactus and succulents, every imaginable type of flowering plants will be on display.
Well, I'm seeing that it's not just a plant show, but it's also a plant sale. So the orchids are going to be on full display on that day, but it's also a sale. So tell us, in terms of the sale, are we going to be able to buy other plants besides orchids, or is it specifically orchids?
Yes, there will be a wide assortment of non-orchid plants on sale. Also, you can get chemicals for fertilizing your plants, taking care of your plants, all types of plants, and we will have specialists on hand to give you tips on how to take care of the plants.
I see. So
it's not just going to be a show. You will be able to purchase plants, reasonably priced plants, and we have lots of giveaways.
Mr. Tanka,
and added to that, you can sit down and have a cup of tea, a slice of cake, some sandwiches. You can have lots of refreshments available on sale.
Wonderful. Tell me, in terms of orchids are those types of plants that people don't know quite a lot about. They're beautiful to look at, but sometimes they look like they should be in water. Some of them look like they should be attached to coconut husk. Tell us about some of the types of orchids that exist in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. There are many varieties of orchids available in Trinidad and Tobago. You can get what a lot of the members will say they are sun vandas because they can tolerate a high level of light. So you're going to see vandas. We have oncidiums, what we call the dancing ladies because they are large lips, so they look almost like a ballet skirt. We have cattleyas. A lot of people associate cattleyas with the bridal bouquet flowers. Phalaenopsis, which is another type of orchid. So we have many varieties that are not native to Trinidad, but they are available in Trinidad. And then Trinidad is home to very many native orchids that are found in the wild in Trinidad, So if you look at our logo, our promotional flyer, you see a big orchid in the center of the flyer. That's known as the butterfly orchid or the papilio. That's our native orchid. That's one of our native orchids.
I see. And when we talk about orchids, I have one, for instance, I'm told it's a terrestrial orchid. Could you tell us a little bit about that? What is a terrestrial orchid, and how do we care for an orchid like that?
Terrestrial orchids are what we commonly call the ground orchids because they can grow in the ground. Orchids are epiphytes, which they are growing in the air, on trees. And then you have the terrestrial types, which grow in the ground or in leaf mold, not in dirt, but in leaf mold. So if you have things like bagasse or leaf litter or mulch, those are that or pot, like a pot and mix or compost. That is what you would call the terrestrial orchid.
I see. If someone wanted to speak to somebody, they missed the opportunity to come to this wonderful festival, but they wanted to, one, perhaps be part of your society, or get in touch with you all to learn more about orchids and more about plants. How can they contact you?
Well, to start, they can contact me through my number, 774-5869, and I can steer them in the right direction to becoming a member of the organization, because if you're going to be interested in growing orchids and you want to learn about taking care of the orchids, you should become a part of the Orchid Society, whereby we have educational talks at our monthly meetings, which are held on the third Sunday of every month at 10 o'clock in the morning. So they should really and truly become a member, because orchids is a nice hobby to be a part of. You said orchids, when you look at an orchid, you don't know if to put them in water or if to put them on coconut. Orchids require very little maintenance, and they are very rewarding. The only thing they require, the 4 elements that they require, is sunlight, air, and food, and a little water from time to time. People tend to suffer their plants by overwatering them, and that's something you need to be very careful of. Orchids can be watered maybe just twice a week, and they will survive.
So when I'm coming to the show, I have to put in a plug right now, because we have Mother's Day right around the corner, but right after Mother's Day is Father's Day. So I have to put in a plug for the dads. Is there anything coming up for the fathers as well, Mr. Tankai?
Unfortunately, it won't be in time for Father's Day, but although the show is Mother's Day weekend, fathers are not excluded. They are most welcome to attend as well. They can make it a family outing, and they can come, they can buy the plants for the mothers. So it's not exclusive to mothers, and fathers are not going to be excluded. They can be very much included in this weekend's activities.
I'm glad to hear that. We have quite a number of men who love plants as well. Gardening is something we tend to think of, something for the women's domain. But I think this horticulture, gardening, this is something that a lot of people enjoy. What is your take on it and your perspective in terms of, who enjoys gardening and the flowers the most, men or women, Mr. Tankai?
It's a 50-50 balance. Within the Orchid Society, we have a lot more male participants in orchids, and I've always attributed that to the fact that the roses and the crotons and the hibiscus, and they tend to attract the female participation. The orchids, the men have always been involved in taking care of the orchids, fertilizing them, potting them. So it's a 50-50. Now you're seeing a lot more female members of the Orchid Society. They have joined because their husbands were there and they decided, okay, let's make it a family thing. So they come with their husbands to the monthly meetings. They help take care of the plants. So it's a family thing. And coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, when people were home, a lot of people got into gardening and horticulture by and large, So it's a 50-50 balance.
I would have to agree with you with that. And I think plants are one of those things that bring a lot of balance and calm, not just to our home, but to our mind. And, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I think you're right in the perfect space to, get to both things, Mother's Day celebration, as well as to deal with mental health. Plants do give you that feeling of calm and happiness. Yeah.
Well, I always say while I walk around watering my plants, it's very therapeutic, You can take time, walk out with your cup of coffee, pull your hose, water your plants, and you can just enjoy the flowers, It's such a calming effect. Mm-hmm. So you are correct. In this month of mental health, it is so therapeutic, it is so healing that one can be involved, not necessarily in orchids, but in any form of horticulture or gardening. You know, it is really and truly very much a soothing thing.
Well, I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this event. And before we go, Mr. Tankai, tell us again, how do we get in contact with you? This event is happening in Couva on May the 9th and the 10th. Tell us how we can contact you.
You can contact me 774-5869. Tickets are running out. They are moving very quickly. The enthusiasm is now building. So if you want your advance tickets, you can call me and I can direct you into where you can get them. Depending on where you're coming from, in the south, you can go to La Vega. In Port of Spain, you can go to Agriflora. That's in the Aranjuez area. So there are quite a few garden centers that have tickets, or you can contact me, 774-5869. And we do have some numbers on the flyers that members can reach out to for information as well.
Okay, fantastic. It was lovely to chat with you, Mr. Tankai, and wishing you all the best for your Mother's Day Orchid Festival.
And thank you so much for having us, and thank you. I hope we can see you at the show.
That would be excellent if I could. We're going on a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go on that quick break, please share the live, share the live, share the live, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Looking for office attire or worship apparel, then come to Tia's Classic Closet. Shopping for casual clothing or just want to dress down. Big discount, so it's you on clothing and comfortable shoes. Get some wonderful accessories to match your attire. Come to Tia's Classic Closet at 39 Montgomery Road. Opening hours daily from 9:30 to 5:30. For more information, call 710-168-99999.
DMK Promotion presents The Glamour and Gold Affair. The Glamour and Gold Affair. The ultimate Mother's Day R&B and reggae experience with unmatched elegance. Happening Saturday 9th of May at Vibes Event Space Tobago. Doors open at 8 p.m. Featuring top DJs and live performances by Ziggy Ranking, Royal Dainty, Prince Unique, and Black Culture Sound. Admission is $200 for couples and $150 for singles. With a premiere special, 4 persons on 1 ticket. Premier bottles, chaser, and cocktail tables. Enjoy a complimentary glass of wine and rose upon entry. Plus, door prizes, best dress categories, dress code, semi-elegant, black and gold. The Glamour and Gold Affair. Glamour and Gold Affair. Don't miss it.
Make your goals a reality this season with Mount Pleasant Credit Union. Tobago's choice, we got you smiling. Come and feel that mid-year feeling, oh yeah. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans, your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice. You know, every loan wants to prove more reasons to celebrate. Chance to win big, doesn't that feel great? Up to $3,500 in exciting gift certificates. Share investment starts as low as $2,500. Mid-year island dreams, we make it easy. $20,000 to $100,000. Come and see, we warm hearts, bright plans. Let your goals grow. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, Tobago's choice, you know.
Yeah. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor.
And welcome back to GMT. It is the first Monday in May, and lots is already happening and will continue to happen in the month of May for 2026. And we have Mother's Day right around the corner. We do have the observation and celebration of the entire month of May for Mental Health Awareness Month. And we have someone to chat with us today, and her name is Talika. She is from the Charlottesville Police Youth Club, and she's going to be talking to us about a mindfulness session, art therapy, and that is to help with your mental health. Talika, are you there?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Talika. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not bad at all, not bad. Better now that you're here with us. Yeah? So tell us, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, but what exactly is this mindfulness session about?
Okay, so this mindfulness session is relating to teenagers that go through mental quiet. They don't really talk about their emotions or how they cope with their feelings about certain issues. So this program was created through the ambassador initiative that the youth having. This ambassador initiative is for social issues within the community that a teenager from the policy has to create a program within 2 months, right? So the ages are from 12 to 17, and there are many social issues within every community. So I chose mental health because as a teen, I know how overwhelming some situations can be. So mental health basically came along with me because I am in exam season, and I know exam season can be very difficult. Mental health, where students decide to just be demotivated from doing what they're supposed to do, and thoughts might run, depression, committing suicide, stuff like that. Hence there was a student that committed suicide just before exam. So I chose this topic because it's very relatable, and I created this program to just bring children who are going through mental health like myself to cope and socialize with each other, discuss our problems, how we could cope and stuff like that.
Oh, this sounds like something that's going to really support persons, and this is targeting age 12 to 18. I'm also seeing that it's located. This event is going to be happening at the Speyside Water Wheel. Tell us your inspiration for picking such a beautiful location.
Okay, so I chose that area because it's very peaceful and relaxing. It's close to the beach, and waves tend to calm your mind and relax your nervous system. So I chose that area for teens to just be outdoor and feel naturistic, not let the thoughts overwhelm their minds, and just relax and cope together. Because being at the beach, it's so relaxing, and I find that when you find something that you truly enjoy, you will want to do that over and over to just relax the body, calm your mind, and breathe and.
So this is happening this coming Saturday, and we're seeing that it's starting from 2:30 at the Speyside Water Wheel, and this is for age group 12 to 18 years. I'm seeing also here about wine glass painting. Tell me, Talika, if I came to the event and I perhaps wanted to do something other than paint a wine glass, because we are seeing that it's ages 12 to 18, right? Is there any other activities happening? I'm seeing a treasure hunt. Tell us about the other activities, and include the wine glass painting activity as well.
Okay, so the other activities that I will be having, few of them will be on coping skills, like how to manage your emotions when dealing with others, how to communicate with them, how to control your body language. So I will be having activities based on that. The treasure hunt is to demonstrate socialization, right? Many teenagers don't really open up to others right away. So those events will kind of build up their social skills to help them know what it's like to socialize with others. That's not perfect, but and the wine glass painting is something to calm the nerves, as I've been saying, because painting, some artists find painting very relaxing, right? Not everyone can paint, but the painting will just be something to make sure the teenagers enjoy, and that they can have a little art to look back at if they're feeling stressed or they're going through something and they just need to breathe and do something to clear their mind.
Well, I'm glad to hear about that. Before we go, I just had one question. In terms of mental health, when we look at the issue, the topic of mental health, a lot of times people are saying, your child, you don't have any issues, you have no bills to pay, you have no problems in life. But that's not always true. There are a lot of things that you are dealing with. So, Talika, for those who may be out there thinking, what could possibly be a problem for a youth or somebody your age? Tell us, why is mental health awareness and taking care of your mental health so important for your age group?
Okay, so mental health can sometimes be caused through peer pressure, because friends always have an advantage and a disadvantage to your life. Peer pressure can lead to many negative stuff, but once you choose the right friends, you will be on the right path. Um, some social issues basically are, let's say, your friend doesn't want to be a part of the policy club, right? And you're well convincing them to join the policy club, because there are many positive things that youth can engage with. So peer pressure comes in and it kind of creates boringness within some children, mood swings. There are a lot of symptoms and effects, but mental health is a wide topic where children just don't understand the concept of it, but they go through it and they don't really have someone to discuss it with, which they tend to shut down their emotions or shut down their whole socialization and just haywire and do whatever. Um, I would say that from my observation, children that go through mental health, the ones that really be in the mix, but you don't really see any sort of signs, right? Because it's something that you keep to yourself and you don't really share with others. But mental health can be discussed with someone and have to cope with it.
Yes. Talika, before we go, tell us again about your event, the date, the time, and where it is.
Okay, so my program is called Mindfulness Session. It will be held at Speyside Water Wheel on Saturday, the 9th of May from 2:30. We have a small registration fee, which is $40, but I am only looking forward to teenagers 12 to 18. So you can chat me or my youth group leader 381-5277 and give you more information on my program.
Okay, thank you so much, Talika, for being with us today and wishing you all the best for this amazing event, taking care of mental health. Please don't go anywhere, viewers. We are coming right back. We're going on a quick break, so share the live. But when we come back, we'll be chatting with the president of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago about World Press Freedom Day. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. Haul your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people
sense.
should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer helping from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, I don't get one sooner.
Sun Up Tobago presents Solara. Celebrating the 9th edition of your favorite party in the East, where style and good vibes meet. Get ready for the food-inclusive cooler experience you love. This July 4th, we return to the East, bringing you the perfect blend of mouth-watering food flavors, premium vibes, and unforgettable energy.
One thing more than them feel understood. When girl, good girl.
Grab your cooler, hold your crew, and escape to Tobago's ultimate vibe. Join us at 4 p.m. at the Deltec compound in Argyle. Get your tickets now at Waterhole Bar and Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Barcode, Scarborough, Eco Spot, Stubby Park, Neat Jones Bar on the Esplanade, and Jane Monkey Crown Point, or online at eitheretickets.com. Sun Up Tobago, Solara, 9 years strong. Your favorite party in the East is calling Saturday, 4th of July, Deltec compound Argyle.
Sofa Factory is here in Tobago. Conveniently located Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. Up to 20% off on select sofas for customization. Deals on some sofas from as low as $4,000 until stocks last. 10% off on all wardrobes. Half off on shower heads with the purchase of a vanity set. Come in and experience the new way to shop for furniture and see the quality in person. And we're back, and GMT, good morning. It's a Monday morning. Let me tell you, the week is already setting up to look like it's going to be busy, but good busy. And we're here in lovely Tobago on GMT, and we hope that you're sharing the live so that you don't only enjoy the show, but you share it with your friends and your family. How can you share it? Go to that share button, select the link, copy it, and send it to everyone so that they can watch it along with you. Today, we're here hoping to chat with Mr. Prior Bihari. He is the president of the Trinidad Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Mr. Bihari.
Good morning, Joel. It's a pleasure again to be on Tobago Updates. Good morning. Hope everyone in Tobago and elsewhere are happy this morning. And the weather seems very nice, very sunny in Trinidad. So I don't know if it's also that way in Tobago.
Well, we're setting up, according to the Met Office, for a hot spell in Trinidad and Tobago, and it looks like Tobago is going to be hotter than Trinidad this time, which is quite unusual. So I don't know. And the dry season itself is pretty hot. But we're here to talk to you, Mr. Bihari, and congratulations, because I know you recently became the president of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago. So congratulations to you. But as we celebrate, you're welcome. As we celebrate World Press Freedom Day, tell us first, because a lot of times when we say that word, what follows is this phrase, the fourth estate. And a lot of persons want to know what that's about. So tell us about World Press Freedom Day and what exactly is the fourth estate.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. World Press Freedom Day came out from a UNESCO had a conference, and after that they started to rate use certain criteria to rate how effective, how safe the press operates in countries. And they have done that for some time now. And Trinidad and Tobago, the recent ranking, Trinidad and Tobago, this year we became 32nd out of, I think, 140 people from countries, and from 19 last year. So we declined a great deal. I'll get to that in a bit, but World Press Freedom Day is celebrated on May 3rd. It was from what is called the Windhoek Declaration. They made a declaration to essentially ensure, under the United Nations, to ensure that we have press freedom, in democracies, a free press in democracies, places where we can operate in a transparent manner, an open manner, and scrutinize the powers that be. And you asked about the fourth estate. Well, in any society, there are usually three arms of government: the executive, which is the government, the cabinet, for example, and then there is the parliament or the legislature, which is the other arm, and of course the judiciary. And these three arms, in some countries they call it separation of powers, but they function and interchange in terms of knowledge, in terms of information, and they are really the ones that run a country. And many centuries ago, there was a parliamentarian, I think Edmund Burke, who spoke in Parliament, and he said, out of all of these three bodies, there is a fourth estate. And he looked towards the press, and the press that's how we became known as the fourth estate. And we always scrutinize, and we always call on these arms of government and anybody in a democracy to account and to be transparent in what takes place and to ensure that there's fairness and equity when we speak about journalism and when we speak about these principles and how we operate in a democracy. And therefore, the fourth estate in any democracy is very important, and how we function and what we do. And after Edmund Burke made that statement, we basically realized that what we do, we scrutinize, we do investigative reports, we also report accurately what happens in a society. And that is very important, and that is a very important role we play. So you have a record of what transpired, a historic record, and we have, verbatim reports, and we also have what goes on critically and what goes on in a daily basis in a democracy, be it parliament, be it the police, be it happens in crime, be it anything, if there's a press conference, if there is reporting or the financials of a bank or anything. So we have we will also keep a public record, and we are able to scrutinize these bodies, be it public or be it private.
Well, you're the head of the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and a lot of persons may not really understand what a media association does or its role. So could you tell us briefly what is the role of this association in Trinidad and Tobago? And we do have an association regionally as well, but tell us about nationally.
Yes, the Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago, our main goal is to promote and ensure that journalism is protected in Trinidad and Tobago. So that is our main goal. We are not a trade union, but we have to ensure that journalists are safe and they operate in a manner that they can report clearly and they can report fairly, and that is what we do. That is our first and foremost function, that we operate in a fair and a safe environment, and we are allowed to continue with our journalistic principles. That's basically what it is.
Mr. Bihari, yeah, we've been hearing a couple media houses closing, over the course of the years, especially last year into this year. We've had some major hits as media houses across Trinidad and Tobago and across the region. We've had Newsday close, we've had Starbrook News close in Guyana as well, one of their oldest media houses. Tell us what's happening, not just because this isn't just local, this is not just regional, but this is worldwide. We're having quite a hard time with media in terms of, being able to stay profitable and to provide that news. Tell us about what's happening.
Yes, the media landscape is changing, and you realize that long ago, the hard copy of the newspaper was what, that we grew up on. There was only the hard copy. There wasn't this whole issue about being online. So there's now a transition that is taking place in the world, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, not only in the Caribbean, but you realize that people get all the information online, maybe via the smartphone, their tablet, their laptop, and that has caused the product of news to be much easier accessible, but at the same time, it has has a negative impact on hard copy, on the newspapers. And what has happened over the years is that the advertising has changed. And usually, there was a premium spot in the newspaper that you pay for it, and that has helped to drive the profitability and the income of newspapers and media outlets. But now, because of the changing landscape of social media, you find people rather advertise on Facebook, on online advertising, and what happens is much cheaper than if you take in a full page ad in a newspaper. So the media houses like my media house, EZP News, we are totally online. We are not a newspaper, we are only online, right? So what happened? We have to look at a model in which we can monetize the online product, and then sometimes you have to look whether you complement it or you supplement it with the hard copy, if that is still viable. But what has happened is because of the advertising space has become different, and income therefore has diminished and shrink. A lot of media houses weren't able to be have a sustainable model with that. And the Starbrook News is a case in point, and also Newsday. And also, I don't know if you recall that Loop had based a company that was owned by Digicel. They all over the Caribbean, they also closed down. And you see, the model has changed, and we have to find a way in which we could sustain the media outlets now. And also in World Press Freedom Day, I think it was the Association of Caribbean Media Workers also talk about this and talk about how the regional media landscape is in a transition, and a lot of the media houses are closing down, and journalists, it's difficult now to navigate within this new space. It is a bit precarious, and some of the issues that we are facing now as people get the news from social media. And that is a point that we can discuss a little later.
Yeah. Every time we talk about media, as a child growing up, you would hear in the back of your mind, there's extra, read all about it, right? And there's a whole Sesame Street spiel for that. But you're very right. We've moved from this extra, read all about it, where you're going to distribute the morning paper, throwing it on the stoop, people coming out to get the paper by their gates and so on. We're moving away from that, and a lot of people are reading their news online, right? They don't have to go anywhere to find the news. But how do you, as the viewing public, as the reading public, how do you differentiate sometimes between what is real news, accurate, and what is misinformation, disinformation? Could you give us some tips, the reading public, as to how we should be reading the news?
That is the point I was going to make, and thank you for that. The tools of a journalist, just like a lawyer, doctor, we have our tools. So a doctor, I always made the point, would have law, would have law books, would have statutes, common law. A lawyer would have those things, sorry. A doctor would have a stethoscope, would have the diagnosis of drugs. And they use the tools, just as a journalist uses the tools of, one, being accurate. When you go to an assignment, no matter what, however you go, you report accurately what took place. If you go cover parliament, you report accurately what is said. If you go to a press conference, you report accurately what is said. That is the number one tool. And the second tool is what we do is try to get the other side. So if we go to a press conference or we're dealing with someone or make an accusation against someone else, we call that other person and say, hey, we want a comment from you. And that is what distinguishes a journalist from someone who is on Facebook and is not a journalist. That now, so when you have to realize that you have to go to credible sources, credible organizations to get your news agencies. So you trust in Trinidad and Tobago, you have Tobago Updates, you have CNC3, you have TV6, you have ACP News, you have Express, you have Guardian. These are trusted sources. In the world, you look at CNN, BBC, Fox, ABC News, so, well, these are trusted sources. Well, you will know who to go to and who to get your news from. Now, what has happened is because of the landscape has changed, a lot of people get their news from social media. And there are a lot of principles that these bloggers do not follow. Or someone would hear something, a rumor, and he would just share it on WhatsApp or on social media. And recently, there were two judgments where people on Facebook were sued and they had to pay money in damages. And that is what you risk if you spread false information on social media. Because there are laws in which a person who is defamed can get redress. And you have to be very careful where you get your sources and how you share your sources, and ensure that you get your sources from credible outlets. As I said, that who people that these organizations report the news and do it accurately, and that they stick to the principles of journalism.
Well, the maxim of journalism, a lot of times, if in doubt, leave it out. I've heard you say that before. And, that kind of helps to make sure we get it right. Yeah?
Yes.
But in the unfortunate situation, this is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it happens, and it's in the news, it's in the public space. Public confidence in terms of what they read and the accuracy of what they read. When a media house, unfortunately, gets something wrong, what would you suggest, or how should we go about that in terms of addressing the issue when it needs to be addressed?
Well, the first thing that happens, you have to issue, and once you realize that is wrong, you issue apology. You understand? So that is the first thing you have to do. And the other issue that many of the media houses, being journalists, we verify our information before we put it out. There is a standard in the industry that you have to verify information, if you're in doubt of it, by 2 independent sources before publishing. So that is something you have to do, and that is something that most of the media houses adhere to. And that is how we distinguish ourselves from a blogger or people who would disseminate fake news. But sometimes we do get it wrong, like all the time, it happens. But once we acknowledge that we falter because we are human, and we apologize and we move on, you know what I mean? But that is why we always have the safeguards and use the tools of journalism. So if there's accusation against someone, we call them and find out. And then if we call them and they said, no, that is not true, then the story usually maybe be another story again, because the accusation we cannot be proven. So in that case, we safeguard ourselves in terms of how to report and whether to report or not to report.
I like that you said that. You mentioned fake news, and as soon as we hear that word fake news, we think of U.S. President Donald Trump. Fake news. He now has his own social, Truth Social. He's come off of Twitter. But before we wrap up, this 1991 Windhoek Declaration that really talks about the freedom of the press, the pluralistic press that is essential for the democracy and economic development. This happened in Namibia in 1991, and we see that persons are observing World Press Freedom Day all over the world. How important it is that we pay attention and that we keep our press free. We are under some strain recently, when government officials don't like what they hear.
As we said in our release, there are certain issues that we face as journalists, right? There are a lot of trolling taking place against journalists on social media. That is what we do. When I say we do our job, and it affects people's lives sometimes, and we have to stick with the truth and be accurate and be fearless. And sometimes people don't like it, but there are laws in which we have in this country that if people are offended and feel they're defamed, we can seek redress. But while we say that, and if you look at the release that we sent out for World Press Freedom Day, which was yesterday, Sunday, May 3rd, every year celebrated, we said that there are certain issues, for the crime rate, of course, in the country, it affects everyone, including journalists, in terms of how we carry out our duties. The other issue, of course, is social media trolling, and a lot of people, what they're doing now is using AI and sort of distorting what is said, and it looks very real, and distort what is said, and, of course, that's another example of fake news. But we must also say that journalists, although we have had 3 states of emergency in 3 years, we have not been stymied in how we report. The press has not been stymied in reporting, and press freedom remains, I think, a pillar in this society and this country. And we continue to report, and we continue, and no journalist in this country, has been detained or killed, Unfortunately, in other countries, you have certain issues like that and certain events like that. So relatively, we consider ourselves very safe in terms of how we operate. And in any democracy, it's very important to have a free press, because even though you may not like what we report, at the end of the day, once we scrutinize what you have done, meaning the powers that be, that in itself would legitimize the decisions that they make, because it has been subjective to scrutiny by a free press.
Understood. And thank you for being here with us, Mr. Bihari. Continue to be fearless, and we look forward to chatting with you again. This is all we have for you today, viewers, across Trinidad and Tobago diaspora on GMT. We just spoke with Mr. Priya Bihari about World Press Freedom Day on May the 3rd. But before we go, we want to just share some more information with you. And this Mother's Day, celebrate the Queen of Your Heart at La Fontaine Restaurant, Beverly Oasis Suites in Lowlands, Tobago. Join us as we toast your mom on Sunday, May the 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for an unforgettable Mother's Day brunch buffet overlooking the gardens. It's $225 per person. Children 5 to 12 are half price, and if they're under 5, they're free. It is live steel pan giveaways and a gift for every mom. So if you want a reservation, please call to book your table at 364-5834 or 639-7928. That's at La Fontaine Restaurant at Beverly Oasis Suite. And as a gesture of appreciation for mothers, on Mother's Day, Sunday 10th May 2026, an entrepreneur and owner, the founder of CP's Bird Sanctuary, is hosting an event for mothers at that bird sanctuary. And this event is called Mothers with the Hummers. And it's free, no charge. And they're catering for 50 mothers between the hours of 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Free drinks and refreshments. There's trivia, scavenger hunts around the compound, and photo moments. So if you're interested in being part of this event, don't wait too late to call. Call and reserve your seat at this event. Call 496-3286. And that's it for me on GMT. I'm Joel Green, your host today. Tomorrow, look forward to seeing Chanel Felix again as she comes to ask those questions that you want answered. We'll see you tomorrow.
The energy filled the sky.